A small southern town where everyone knows everyone, one quiet night would change everything. Jamal Thompson, a 17-year-old with a heart full of dreams, was grinding late at the high school gym. The sound of his sneakers echoed off the walls as he sank another perfect three-pointer. For Jamal, basketball wasn't just a sport. It was hope, a shot at a future far beyond the limits of his small-town life. The clock read 10:30 p.m. when he finally packed up, sweat dripping, mind buzzing with thoughts of college scouts and scholarships. As he stepped into the cool night air, the quiet streets offered a peaceful contrast to the intensity of his workout. But peace can be deceiving. As Jamal turned down Maple Street, flashing red and blue lights tore through the silence. A police cruiser screeched to a halt beside him. He froze. He hadn't done anything wrong, but in towns like this, that didn't always matter. "Hold it right there, son," barked one of the officers, hand hovering near his holster. "What are you doing out this late?" Jamal, heart pounding, kept his voice calm. "Just heading home from basketball practice, sir." The officers weren't convinced. "ID," demanded the other, already moving in close. Jamal reached slowly for his wallet, remembering every word his parents ever told him about staying calm, staying respectful, staying safe. Then came the accusation. "Basketball practice, huh?" The tall officer sneered. "Funny, because we got a report about someone breaking into cars, someone matching your description." Jamal's voice caught in his throat. "No, sir, I swear. I've been at the gym all night. You can call my coach, Coach Johnson. He'll tell you." But they weren't listening. Hands on the car. Jamal hesitated only a second before complying, placing his hands on the cold hood. Around him, the neighborhood began to stir. Porch lights flicked on, windows creaked open, familiar faces peeked out, people Jamal had known his whole life. Now they were witnesses to his public humiliation. The younger officer patted him down roughly. Jamal flinched but stayed still. "Officers, please," he tried again, voice trembling. "This is a mistake." Click. The handcuffs bit into his wrists. "You have the right to remain silent." And just like that, Jamal Thompson's life changed. What those officers didn't know, what would soon send shockwaves through the entire town, was who Jamal's father was. What happened next would ignite outrage, expose long-hidden truths, and challenge the town's very sense of justice. But this couldn't be real. Not here. Not to him. As the officers grabbed Jamal to shove him into the back of the patrol car, panic surged through his chest. Desperate, he cried out, "Wait, please. I need to call my father. He needs to know what's happening." Officer Reed let out a sharp, dismissive laugh. "Yeah, right? So you can get your story straight?" "I don't think so, kid." But something in Jamal's voice, something raw and real, gave Officer Miller pause. For a second, the tension hung in the air like a held breath. Then Miller sighed, his jaw tight. "One call. Make it quick." Jamal's fingers trembled as he pulled out his phone and dialed the one number he could never forget. The ringtone felt like a countdown, every second stretching out. Finally, a familiar voice picked up. "Jamal? What's wrong, son?" Just hearing his father's voice nearly unraveled him. "Dad, I need help. The police, they think I did something. They're arresting me, but I swear I didn't do anything." There was a pause on the line, thick with disbelief, and then his father's voice came, low, calm, but hard-edged with a steel Jamal had never heard before. "Where are you?" "Maple Street," Jamal whispered. "I'm scared." "Listen to me, Jamal," his father said, steady and unshakable. "Stay calm. Do exactly what they say. I'm coming. Everything's going to be okay. I promise you that." Before Jamal could respond, Officer Miller yanked the phone from his hand and ended the call. But it was too late. The message had been delivered. His father was coming. And what no one knew, not the crowd watching from porches and windows, not the officers with their clipped words and quick cuffs, was that that phone call had just lit a fuse. Across town, Jonathan Thompson sat in his office, the dim light casting long shadows over stacks of paperwork. As the newly appointed chief of the sheriff's department, he was used to late nights, budget meetings, staffing disputes, department politics. But all of that disappeared the moment he heard the fear in his son's voice. His son. Jonathan's blood ran cold as he grabbed his jacket and keys. Years of service, years of working his way up, towing the line, fighting quiet battles for justice in a system that often refused to bend. Now that very system had turned on his child. He'd always known this day might come. The day when the badge on his chest wouldn't be enough to shield his son from what it meant to be young, black, and seen as suspicious. Still, he'd hoped their town would be different, that the bridges he'd built would be enough, that respect would be returned. Tonight proved otherwise. With grim resolve, Jonathan sped toward the sheriff's office, his grip on the steering wheel like iron. This wasn't just about Jamal anymore. This was about every child who'd ever been falsely accused, every parent who'd ever been powerless. As he pulled into the station lot, he paused for a breath. Then he stepped out, no hesitation in his stride. Inside, the bullpen was mostly quiet. Fluorescent lights flickered above startled officers. Jonathan didn't wait. "Where is he?" he barked, voice echoing through the room. Heads turned. Officer Jenkins, a veteran, approached carefully. "Chief Thompson, we didn't expect you tonight. Is everything?" "My son," Jonathan cut him off, eyes cold. "Jamal Thompson. He was brought in not long ago. Where is he?" Recognition hit Jenkins like a slap. His jaw slackened, his voice faltered. "Wait, Jamal?" "Chief, I didn't realize Officers Miller and Reed brought in a suspect about 20 minutes ago. They didn't say." Jonathan didn't wait for the rest, because what was about to happen next would shake their town to its very core.